Hey guys, welcome back to NaniTube. We're doing episodes 101 to 200 today, and if you haven't already checked out part 1 yet, make sure you give that a watch. I took a long break after my first video and I apologize for not getting this content to you sooner. I appreciate you for sticking around and I'm promising more frequent uploads. Anyways, let's get right into this. We're picking up where we left off, the deserts of Alabasta, where Vivi starts unveiling more about her past and her friendship with Koza. Behind the scenes, Baroque Works' plan starts to take effect and the numbered agents meet with Mr. Zero. The numbered agents find out that Mr. Zero is Crocodile, and that the plan is to overthrow the country during the war. Mr. 3 gets punished for failing to kill the Straw Hats and gets thrown into the pit. The Straw Hats depart to Catarea while Luffy reassures Vivi to trust him and his crew when they discuss their plan to stop Crocodile. When the crew arrives at the city of Rainbase, they run into Smoker and Toshigi, forcing them to run toward Rain Dinners right into Crocodile's trap. Most of the crew, as well as Smoker, are now trapped by Crocodile, and we learn that his Devil Fruit power is of the Logia type, enabling him to create, control, and transform into sand. They kidnap the king, and Mr. 2 uses his impersonation power to transform into and frame the king for ordering the destruction of Nanohana. While most of the crew are trapped, Crocodile receives a call from Mr. Prince, who is actually Sanji, playing undercover to lure Crocodile out of the casino to rescue the crew. Luckily, Mr. 3 is also in the pit with them, and by using his power to mold anything with wax, he creates a copy of the key to open the cage. However, the room starts flooding and Luffy orders Zoro to save Smoker. After everyone is out and safe, Smoker expresses his gratitude and lets them escape this time as they race to stop the rebellion. As the crew travels to where the final battle will take place, Crocodile manages to catch Luffy and completely destroys him since Luffy isn't able to land a single hit because of his powers. Luckily, the mysterious Miss All Sunday helps Luffy by pulling him up from the sand while the rest of the crew arrive at Alubarna. The revolution is on the verge of starting, but the crew comes out with a plan to stop it. Vivi tries to contact the rebel army, but fails because a Baroque Works infiltrator in the royal army interferes and gets tangled in some conflict with Mr. 2. But Sanji enters the scene to protect Vivi and fights Mr. 2. Meanwhile, Usopp and Chopper struggle against Mr. 4's attacks, and things are starting to look hopeless. After being badly injured, Usopp and Chopper come up with a plan by tricking Mr. 4 into hitting Miss Merry Christmas, then finishes him off by launching a hammer from a slingshot on Chopper's antlers. Mr. 2 exploits Sanji's weakness of not being able to hit a girl by transforming into Nami in between attacks. Sanji figures out Mr. 2 must transform into his original form to use his ballet kempo, and after an intense fight with their legs, Sanji defeats Mr. 2. Vivi plans on destroying the palace to buy some time and grab the attention of the rebel army, but Crocodile arrives, with King Cobra in his arms unconscious. Zoro and Nami split up to take on Mr. 1 and Miss Doublefinger separately. Nami tries out her climb attack, a new weapon Usopp made for her. Although it takes some time to figure out, she unleashes her most powerful attack, the Tornado Tempo, to take out Mr. Doublefinger. At the same time, Crocodile explains to Vivi that he is seeking the ancient weapon Pluton. Zoro and Mr. 1 are both sword users. However, Mr. 1's Dice Fruit power enables him to attack by using any part of his body as a steel blade. Zoro is unable to cut through his steel body, and his attacks have no effect. Zoro, after being severely wounded, unleashes a new potential, and becomes able to sense the rhythm that all things have, and with one big slash, Zoro defeats Mr. 1 in dramatic fashion. Vivi reveals Crocodile's plans to Koza, and after hearing her out, Koza raises the white flag alongside the royal army to stop all the fighting, but as he is explaining to the rebels, he is shot by a Baroque Works member impersonating as a royal army soldier. Vivi is confronted by Crocodile and throws her off the ledge when Luffy, riding Pell, swoops down to save her. Luffy is looking for round 2 with Crocodile, and he claims he found out his weakness to water. Luffy's plan seems to be working, but Crocodile is still too strong, being able to also manipulate the area around him as well. Crocodile overpowers Luffy and beats him again. Meanwhile, the rest of the Straw Hat crew is hurrying to find a bomb before it goes off. Toshigi confronts Miss All Sunday since she's guarding the king, and we learn that her name is actually Nico Robin, who has a bounty of 79 million. she forces the king to take her to the tomb where the poneglyph with Pluton's location is hidden. Crocodile meets Robin in the tomb and orders her to translate the poneglyph to him. When Robin tells him that Pluton, the world's most disastrous military power, is not mentioned on the poneglyph, he assumes she's withholding the truth and stabs her. Luffy takes a nap and hunts down Crocodile in the tomb. Luffy has his final fight with Crocodile, and while this is happening, Vivi finds the bomb and calls the rest of the crew together, but the Mr. 7 team is guarding the bomb. After defeating them, they notice that they can't stop the bomb and it's on a timer. Pell shows up and takes it to the sky and sacrifices himself to save Alabasta. Luffy is struggling from the poison in Crocodile's hook, but Luffy delivers his final blow, punching him through solid bedrock. All the enemies are defeated now, and it starts to rain. Tashigi decides not to capture the Straw Hats and leaves. Smoker and Tashigi get rewarded for taking down Crocodile, but it never sits right with them since the Straw Hats actually did everything. The Straw Hats celebrate in the palace and they receive bounty increases. As they're leaving the island, they get ambushed by a marine captain. However, Bon Clay, Mr. 2, now Luffy's friend, sacrifices himself to buy time for the Straw Hats to escape. The Marines fail to catch the Straw Hats again, and shortly after, Nico Robin appears from inside of the ship and manages to persuade the crew to let her join. The Straw Hats once again follow the direction of the log pose when it suddenly starts pointing to the sky. Out of the sky, a big ship falls in front of the crew where they find a map of an island called Skypiea. They also meet Masira and his salvage crew who came to search for the remains of the abandoned ship that just fell from the sky. After getting to know one another, they decide to go to Jaya Island to look for more information on Skypiea. Jaya's main town is full of famous pirates that are constantly having brawls with each other. Luffy and Zoro run into a pirate known as Bellamy the Hyena, who ridicules their dreams and beats them up. Luffy meets the man who is later revealed to be Blackbeard, an important name to remember in the future. They leave Mocktown and end up running into Masira's brother Shoujo, another salvage monkey. The Straw Hats continue to a different part of Jaya and meet with Mont Blanc Cricket, a descendant of Mont Blanc Noland, an infamous liar who told of a gold city on Jaya, and Cricket was outcast for looking for artifacts of the gold city. He explains that they can get to Skypiea by riding a dangerous vertical current called the Knock-Up Stream. To find it, they have to catch a southbird to point them toward the direction where the stream will erupt from the ocean. As they're looking, Bellamy and his crew come to attack Cricket's house and steal the gold artifacts he collected over the years. When the Straw Hats return and see what happened, Luffy decides to take a trip back to Mocktown to get the gold back. He fights again with Bellamy, who we find out has a devil fruit power that allows him to turn his body into a spring. Bellamy tries to be flashy, but Luffy waits for the right moment and takes him out with a single punch. At a different part of the world, the Marines are discussing who should replace Crocodile as a Shichibukai when one of the Blackbeard's crew members shows up uninvited and nominates his own captain. Masira and Shoujo refit the Going Merry to be more flight capable, and the Straw Hats catch a ride on the Knock-Up Stream for Skypiea. They arrive in an ocean above the clouds, but it's no easy feat. Usopp almost falls out of the ship, and the crew is also attacked by a mysterious warrior, but is saved by the Knight of the Sky, also known as Ganfal. As they arrive in Skypiea, they are greeted by Konis and her pet Sue. Konis and her father explain to them how life is in Skypiea and show them how different dials work, which are tools with different functions used on Skypiea that are shaped like shells. Nami travels to the Forbidden Forest alone and finds that there are secrets within the forest. The crew is approached by the local justice enforcers called the White Berets, and after defeating them, they decide to leave. However, before they can, the ship is taken by a giant lobster, with Zoro, Chopper, Nami, and Robin still on board. Konis leads the rest of the crew to save them, but will have to travel to the upper yard where it's known for many traps. Luffy, Usopp, and Sanji finally enter upper yard to find out that the whole road is trapped heavily, but through the struggle they enter the ordeal of Ball's Gate. Meanwhile, Robin, Zoro, and Nami go out to explore the upper yard, while Chopper stays behind to guard the ship. Luffy, Sanji, and Usopp encounter the priest Satori on the other side of the gate. Usopp splits off to find out where the exit is, and Luffy and Sanji are able to defeat Satori. On the other hand, Chopper is threatened by Priest Shura as he destroys parts of the ship and blows the whistle for Ganfal to come. Ganfal tries his best to fight off Priest Shura but is defeated as he falls into the water when Chopper jumps in to rescue him. Chopper is saved by a group of giant southbirds who tell him that Ganfao was actually God. Meanwhile, Nami, Zoro, and Robin discover that the upper yard was actually once a part of Jaya, the area that liar Nolan saw. The Shandians are a tribe of people who made Skypiea their home, and they take advantage of their rebellion after finding out that Satori was taken out, but they're not the most welcoming to the crew. The crew is once again reunited, and after regrouping on what just happened, they plan to steal the gold on the island. Ganfao also tells the crew a little more about the history of Upper Yard. We get to see God Enel, who has the Logia power of lightning, as he orders his priests to take out the Straw Hats and the Shandians. That night, Usopp sees a mysterious figure fixing the ship, and the next day, the Mary is found to be back to her original form. It is known this figure is the spirit of the ship, and the more love and care a ship receives, the more it'll take care of the crew. The Straw Hats begin their course of action with Luffy, Robin, Chopper, and Zoro traveling in the forest. Shortly after, they get split up because of a giant python. Meanwhile, the Shandians find success when Wiper takes out Shura. Zoro encounters the Shandian warrior Braham and defeats him with his new technique. Wyver runs into Luffy and doesn't like how he didn't leave the island as requested and starts a fight with him. But after some fighting, Luffy falls into some underground ruin. Back at the Going Merry, Enel shows up and easily takes out Sanji and Usopp while explaining to Ganfao that his true goal was claiming the City of Gold. Meanwhile, Robin is looking at some ruins she found when Yama, the chief enforcer, attacks her. Robin is still overpowered with her ability and easily defeats him. As she's looking around, she finds a tunnel that leads to the legendary city Shandora and starts connecting the hints and realizes she has to find the real poneglyph, which claims to be the text of real history. Priest Ohm makes his move and starts fighting Ganfao, Zoro, and Wiper. However, Wiper is still suspicious of the Straw Hat crew. Nami and Isa get saved by Ganfao when all three of them suddenly get swallowed by the giant python. They regroup with Luffy, who is also stuck in the python. Zoro finally defeats Priest Ohm when shortly after, Enel shows up and unleashes his devastating power by destroying the upper ruins, which leads to everyone falling into certain death. As the python is falling, Nami, Isa, Ganfao, and Luffy make it back out, and Enel starts to take out everyone one by one. Ganfao is the first to go, then Robin, Zoro, and Wiper. After Nami witnesses everything, she follows Enel to a cave where he parked his arc he calls Maxim. Luffy finds out what happens and has Isa lead him to where Enel is. When Luffy and Enel start fighting, they all realize Luffy is immune to lightning since he's a rubber man. However, Enel still runs away in his flying ship and starts a machine that would bring the death of Skypiea. We get hit with a giant flashback from Wiper explaining the history of Noland and Calgara, and if you're interested in watching this flashback, it happens during episodes 187 to 189. Angel Island is being destroyed by Enel's attacks when Luffy decides to fly up and defeat Enel to ring the Golden Bell. The fight between them was rather quick, and Luffy defeats him by smashing him into the Golden Bell, ringing it for all to hear. This marked the end of the 400-year war on Sky Island and shows Mont Blanc Cricket and the Masura brothers hearing the Golden Bell ringing from below, realizing that the Gold City was always in the sky. Robin deciphers the poneglyphs on the Golden Bell and figures out how to find the real poneglyph, and also discovers that the poneglyphs on the Golden Bell were written by Goldie Roger, the Pirate King. The Straw Hats celebrate with the Skypieans and Shandorians with the party. They decide to leave Skypiea and head back down to the Blue Sea, using a giant octopus as a parachute for the whole ship. But little did they know that they would be landing in the middle of a marine base. And that wraps up episodes 101 to 200. Hope you enjoyed this summary, and if you like what you see, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.